You just can't help yourself, WWE. Well, I'm not going to completely knock them about this idea 100%. I still, though, just did not want to see this. I really did not. But we're going to talk about this. Guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993. I've been wanting to make this video for a while. It was basically the same reason why I made my video, which has seemed to get some decent reception so far, for only getting like 80 some views, but a decent in my part. I did a video on why I didn't think WWE made the right decision doing Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey for WrestleMania 38, as I felt they should have done Ronda and Becky. I also, at the time, was saying why I don't want to see WWE do Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar title for title at WrestleMania 38 either. But of course, that was before I almost recorded it. I almost recorded this before Elimination Chamber last weekend. But I thought, it's so close, let's wait till after to see if we're actually going to get this match. And I was going to do this in my Elimination Chamber review, but wanted to keep this a separate video and make this a separate discussion. So recently, I did another poll on Twitter and on YouTube. Do you want to see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar be title for title at WrestleMania? And of course, on my answers were either acknowledge me for yes, acknowledge me, or Suplex City bitch for no. Then of course, I did that on YouTube also. But on Twitter, I had 8 votes. 63% said yes. 37% said no. On YouTube, 17 votes. 24% said yes. 76% said no. Where do I stand? And why am I making this video? Why am I even bringing up this discussion? I've been saying this since Brock Lesnar returned at SummerSlam. I've even been saying this since Roman Reigns turned heel in 2020. Everybody's like, oh, they should do Roman and Brock again because, they can make Brock the face and Roman the heel. To where I said, no, I didn't want to see it again. This feud is so bitter. Well, this whole idea of this match is so bitter to me because 2018, Vince's biggest dream in the world was to have Roman Reigns be the big heroic babyface to slay the Beast, which of course Brock Lesnar. But I feel like we've had some people, have some more convincing slaying of the Beast moments and be the big hero, like Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre, I would say. But then 2018, WrestleMania 34. Well, let's go back to 2015 first. WrestleMania 31, their best match by far. Definitely their best match by far. Outstanding match. Problem though was they were starting to push Roman Reigns just at the wrong time. They wanted Daniel Bryan in that spot. I wanted Daniel Bryan in this spot. I wanted to see Roman Reigns be up on top, but I was just like that same guy. I was just like, okay, Roman's good, but no, not now. But then, of course, unfortunately, that left a bitter taste in our mouths for how many years? Until they finally gave in and said, fine, we'll make Roman a heel. And what was so hard about it, because he's literally, having the best run of his career and cemented himself as one of the greatest of all time. Believably. But of course, what happened? They panicked. So what did it do? They had Seth Rollins cash in to win instead at WrestleMania 31. Then, of course, WrestleMania 34. Even before WrestleMania 33 took place, they were announcing Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. And I was bitter about it at first because I'm like, okay, this should be Braun Strowman, but I'm like, you know what? Last time they fought each other, they put on a good match. And technically, they do have unfinished business one-on-one. Before this, of course, they had, faced each other, in like multi-man matches. So I'm like, okay, one-on-one, they technically have an unsettled finished business. So I got that. What happened, though? They panicked. Because, again, WWE, the fans were not cheering Roman Reigns. And the thing was that's supposed to be when Brock was leaving. Brock was supposed to be done after WrestleMania 34. But then the next day, Brock re-signed. And even though Roman lost clean at WrestleMania 34. But yet, Brock re-signs, and Roman not only gets another match in that steel cage match at the Greatest Royal Rumble, but they had Roman Reigns come out on live TV. He flat out said, I don't get why I'm having this match. They had Roman Reigns come out on live TV and say that. And yet they had that steel cage match. And Brock won because Roman speared Brock through the cage. Brock landed on his back. But the thing was, they were saying something about how, Brock technically did not hit the floor because he was on the cage or something like that. And to me, it's like they had another excuse to have the match again. And I'm just like, come on. That's enough. This is starting to get enough. And of course, they did them again at SummerSlam. And again, this whole idea of, beating to death at that point, how Brock Lesnar does not defend the title, Brock Lesnar does not show up to work full-time, blah, blah, blah. It's like bull crap that is not news to us. That's been happening the whole time. You did make a big deal out of it whenever Brock was champion back in 2014 to 2015. And the only time I made a big deal out of it was when he was viewed Roman Reigns. It felt like, to me, the WWE was on lockdown until Roman Reigns had that crowning moment. And then they had another forgettable match at SummerSlam, and Roman won, and even though they had Braun Strowman out there carrying the briefcase, and again, poor Braun Strowman used as a pawn. Basically, if it wasn't going to be Roman, then, now we need you, Braun. That's why, of course, Braun Strowman won the Universal title at WrestleMania 36 whenever Roman backed out of facing Goldberg at the time. So, like I said, there is no need to do Roman and Brock again. But then when they brought Brock back at SummerSlam, he had the new look, the new character. I'm like, fine, do it at Crown Jewel, I don't care. And Roman beat Brock. But of course, I think Heyman got involved or something, so they kept the feud going. And then they were supposed to do the match again at day 1, but then Roman got sick, so they had to cancel it. And then they threw Brock in the Fatal 5-Way, which was a good Fatal 5-Way. But then I'm like, wait a minute. They won't do title for title, will they? I hear even if they wouldn't have they would have still had Roman and Brock fight at day 1. They were still going to do Brock and Roman at WrestleMania. And they had Brock win the Rumble. And of course, they just put the title back on him, so it's official. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, title for title. I still remember the only gripe I had about this when Brock came back and I said, fine, do the Crown Jewel, was just don't do it again at Mania. And we're doing it at Mania again. Oh, God. Oh, my God, are they ever going to stop doing this match? Even their match at Crown Jewel, it was okay, but it wasn't that great that I wanted to see it again. I don't think they're going to ever be able to top off their WrestleMania 31 match. I'm not just saying that because Seth Rollins cashed in. I'm saying that because I literally thought they had a great match at WrestleMania 31. It was what I wanted to see. Fast-paced, brutal, hard-hitting. Their other matches have just been kind of slow and boring. I'm sorry. It wasn't. They don't work. well, I'm sure they can have a good match, but we've seen the match, like, even not counting times they faced one-on-one. They fought in that triple threat match at Fastlane. It was Roman, Brock, and Ambrose, which I didn't get that match at all. Why did that match happen when Triple H first off said that Roman Reigns would never get another opportunity again while he was world champion? And two, why did they pick the three people as candidates to fight Triple H at WrestleMania 32, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Brock Lesnar? Why in God's name would Triple H want to fight any three of those guys? They had the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam 2017. That was a good match with Brock, Roman, Braun, and Samoa Joe. Which of course Brock pinned Roman in that match. But of course, then that lockdown happened. And then remember, they were supposed to do a triple threat match with Roman, Braun, and Brock at Crown Jewel until Roman got diagnosed with leukemia. So, let's first say the one big pro about this, doing a title for title match. At least we're starting. We could be starting to unify belts, because like I said, a big problem I'm having now, especially with WWE getting rid of so much talent, is again, there is no need for the brand split anymore. There is no need for all of these titles. It's time to start merging some titles, and that's the biggest thing I'm for, is merging titles. And with this Roman Reigns character, if anyone is to become, a dual champion, or to at least unified belts, the winner should be him. With this character, if they're trying to make him the head of the table, this is a guy that we want to see get beat at some point. Make him look as massive as possible. I'm for Roman, being the person to hold both belts, or to be crowned a unified champion. That way, whoever does finally beat him, it would mean something. But what are the cons? Why don't I want to see this be title for title? Why would I have rather seen this be just for the Universal title only? And again, I go back to what I said in my Elimination Chamber review. I feel bad saying this because, like I said, even though, 2018, I wanted Brock gone. I couldn't stand their booking of Brock because it seemed like he didn't care. And also, I was just sick of him being champion, not even defending the belt. I was sick of him back then. But a few things here and there since, he's like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. There was a lot of things that happened after that I was cool with Brock doing. Except for, of course, beating Kofi Kingston in 6 seconds on the first SmackDown on Fox. I was not for that at all. I hated that. I absolutely hated that. That's the only thing. But, again, since Brock's come back at SummerSlam, again, I liked what they've done with Brock. I like his character. I like they're giving him time on a microphone, time by himself. He's actually good on a microphone. He's entertaining. He's funny. I like his look, with the beard and, the ponytail. I like the look. I mean, again, I hate to kind of say Brock's, the problem here, but the truth is, it's Brock's the problem. At least if this was not title for title, at least, somebody else could have gotten, a rub off of this with being world champion. I think originally they were going to do Big E and John Cena. I mean, okay, that goes against me saying, how I'm kind of tired how WrestleMania 38 has just nothing but part-timers, highlighting the show. But I actually would have liked to have seen Big E and John Cena. That's a fresh match. And a good way to probably put over Big E. But of course, they gave up on Big E and whatnot. But if you're going to do title for title, Roman, fine. Brock, though? I know, and the thing is, I know Roman's going to win this match. Well, he better win this match. I said I know someone who won this match last time, which was The Fiend beating Goldberg, and The Fiend lost to Goldberg. Roman, of course, must win this match. Because if you're going to have Roman be dethroned, it's got to be, somebody, different. I'm sorry, Brock Lesnar, and here's the thing also. The story for this since Rumble's been weird. Because like I said, Roman Reigns cost Brock Lesnar the WWE title at Royal Rumble. I get why they did it, because they wanted to have Paul Heyman actually turn on Brock Lesnar. But my thing was why would Roman Reigns cost Brock the title and instantly open the door wide open for him to enter the Rumble match just for him to get his revenge on Roman? You know what I mean? Like I felt like, Roman dug his own. I made it so easy for Brock to do that. Like, why could they at least have like Brock jump through some challenges, like some more convincing challenges to get another shot at Roman? That's what I wanted. But the way they did it again was just weird. They ended up putting the title on him, and then so the other thing too is, again, why would you want, even if Roman was to lose this match, who would benefit by having Brock beat Roman? We all know Brock could beat Roman Reigns. Like, someone like Big E, even though he's back to the mid-cards, Big E should have been one person booked to beating Roman Reigns. Cesaro, to me, till he left WWE today, which we'll talk about that probably tomorrow, Cesaro is someone else. I remember saying that I could see as a good candidate being the person to dethrone Roman Reigns. Who else is there? Keith Lee. Well, he's gone, of course. But I'd even be okay with Drew McIntyre beating Roman Reigns. I would be okay with Drew McIntyre being the one to take the title off of Roman Reigns. There's really nobody else, though, I can see doing it. And what's the point of having Roman have this long reign, being this, this forever champion that Vince dreamed of being, that is finally getting, and it's working? What's the point of him losing it to Brock Lesnar? So, and having Brock Lesnar be a dual champ, and nobody else is benefiting from it. Because Brock doesn't need to be a dual champ to prove anything. Roman Reigns, yes, his character benefits from it because, he's, the tribal chief has never been beaten. Yes, Roman's been beaten before in other ways, but he's never been beaten as a tribal chief. Brock Lesnar has been beaten before as Brock Lesnar. So, like I said, if you're going to do this match, don't make it title for title, because if somebody else had the title, like someone new, like a Big E, or even Bobby Lashley would have been okay with him, facing Roman Reigns with title for title. Seth Rollins, fine. Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens, even so. I don't know, someone else being in Brock's spot, making it title for title. At least somebody new's getting the rub. Like with Brock being WWE champion, it's taken away from somebody new getting a little bit of a rub at WrestleMania. And so it makes that not, at least, it'll kind of make that title for title match involving somebody you're hoping wins. Because like I said, Brock's cool with this gimmick, but I don't want to see him be dual champion. I don't want him to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. I want it to be someone else. Like I talked about in my video, we could have had AJ Styles in this spot. I would have been okay with that. I mean, at least after WrestleMania, till Roman fights The Rock at 39, still hoping that's the case. We could maybe, since Roman's probably going to be on both shows, we could maybe see Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. That'd be an excellent match. They could have done that title for title. But instead, we're getting Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar title for title. And again, this is not a memorable rivalry. Like I said, they only had one good match, and that was at WrestleMania 31. I'm hoping they put on a good match, because again, I know they can put on a good match, but ever since that first match, all their matches have been so unforgettable. So forgettable. I'm sorry, forgettable. Not unforgettable. Forgettable. Like, who cares? So, I said my piece. I didn't want to see this be title for title. What are your guys' thoughts? Did you want Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar to have their match be title for title at WrestleMania 38? Did you even want to see these two fight each other again at all? Do you think Brock Lesnar should be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns? What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirborne93. I'll check it out, guys. Catch y'all later. Have a good night. Peace out, everybody.
no